And we're back with another episode of the Pals Podcast. I am your co-host, Danielle Galarno.
And I'm Ricky Liordi, and this is our first official episode in the studio. And honestly, it just feels good to be in here.
It felt really good to record that episode on Sunday.
Yeah.
A couple days ago. It felt really nice to be in here. Finally got a new space. Obviously, it was fun recording with Devin and us, but it's just nice having a guest in here, welcoming them into the studio. It's still not fully done, but it just feels good.
It's starting to come together though, little by little. Once the TV's up, once we have our new marketing assistant, there's so many little things that
once our Wi-Fi consistently works for more than a day.
Yeah. There's always growing pains whenever you move, obviously. But I'm really glad Lawrence was our first kind of real guest in here.
It was so much fun.
I actually loved him. I actually thought he was amazing. Even right after the pod, remember I told him Lawrence, I think you're a very fascinating guy. I vibe with you.
Yeah. No, it was so much fun.
That could have easily been a 3-hour episode. Easily.
Oh, easy. Because he talks a lot. We talk a lot.
He's a good storyteller too.
Yeah. And his story is just cool. He's doing.
Why don't you tell the people what Lawrence does and why we had him on?
So he is, I want to say, he's in the operations.
Yeah, he's in the food and beverage space.
Food and beverage space. He has his own company off the menu.
Yeah, he's not just a restaurateur.
And then he got into working the operations side with Prince Street Pizza and opening up different locations other than the New York location. So they opened up Toronto recently, which has been massive here. The talk of the city. Lines were 3 hours long when it just opened. Then they opened LA, Vegas, and all that kind of stuff. So he's just really into everything. And
he's a food curator.
Yeah, and he made fun of us just because obviously
we didn't know everything about him.
But that's kind of why we have this podcast, is to get to know people.
He was great.
And more than just listening. We're not going to listen to, if you've been on 10 podcasts before, all 10 of those episodes. Kind of a brief overview of what they did. So I feel we were able to learn a lot about him, and it fascinated us. Is that well said?
Yeah, he's a great storyteller. Very rare. Actually, not very rare, but it's very nice when you get someone who's well spoken, good storyteller, doing really cool stuff. Because from how we got started trying to be an actor, a producer in LA, to pivoting to finding off the menu food items, to working
him
with one of the biggest,
even
him staying in LA, to working with possibly one of the biggest pizza joints in North America. And then he did the Tendy Fest.
Okay, so that's one thing. In the episode when he talks about his Tender Fest or the Burger Smackdown.
Yeah, there's so many things.
I'm not even kidding. I went the next day when I was on my computer at work. I was bored, didn't want to work. I'm Googling Tender Fest. When was it? What tender won?
Yeah.
Or was the Burger Showdown that was happened, and he's worked with really cool people. Great conversation, great time. And great first episode.
Yeah, and if you haven't already tried Prince Street Pizza in Toronto, located at Front and Spadina in the Well, go check it out. He brought us some pizza. It's amazing.
Yeah, we started the episode late because we're all sitting there
literally eating
pizza
and shooting the shit.
Yeah, and we're just shit. We should be talking about this on the podcast and not. I'm pretty sure even before we even started too, he was telling us about how one of his kids was born at home.
Yeah, just honestly,
just such Lawrence, funny things, and we're Kate, no, let's save this for the podcast because we have so much to talk about.
You're an absolute great guest. Would love to have you back anytime you're in the city of Toronto. Go check him out, listen to the episode, enjoy it, and Danny,
let's fucking go.
Boom. But yeah, so what was the Gretzky's basement thing? Because that's how you guys met, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw him walk in, and I turned to Nicole. I'm I know who this guy is, and I was but I can't put a face to the name right now. And I would literally open my email, and it was your Gmail, and you had just accepted our calendar invite for the updated time for the podcast.
As I was walking into the basement,
maybe an hour before, but I had just opened it, so I opened my email up, and I just see your face. I'm oh. That's Lawrence. He's coming on the podcast on Sunday. What are the odds?
And you approached him?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Aren't you proud of me?
I actually am proud because so many people, they won't approach people.
Why?
I don't get it. There's so many people that, oh, I know that person. It's go say hi. It's well, I don't know him personally. I'm Do you
Well, I
follow
just
him
knew
on
I was
social
gonna meet
media?
him. What I was gonna do, see his face, and
Yeah.
then come see him on Sunday and not say anything.
And then
Like,
you'd be like, that's
Think
weird.
about all the missed opportunities people don't have because they don't have the balls to go and step up.
exactly.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. Like if I follow someone on social media or I know who they are, and like I want to meet them, I'll go talk to them. Like no shame.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
100%. That's Wayne Gretzky.
No, that's my quote.
The Michael Scott, the famous Michael Scott. Do you watch The Office?
What's that?
Do you watch The Office?
No, but some of my employees are like, you're like the kind of cooler version of him. And I was like, that's a fucking insult.
No, it's not. It's like one of my favorite characters in like TV history.
Yeah.
But even like just you know you've got a good guess, and like we just said this off air. But when someone comes in like asking questions, just chatting right off the bat, you're like, you know, this is going to be a good episode. We try and do like 10-minute sit downs just to like let the guests get a feel for who we are, like get comfortable, because usually the first like 20-30 minutes of the pod starts slow and then the second half picks up. But as I was just telling you, like our listeners more listen to the first half than the second half.
So all your listeners are missing out on
Some episodes I'll be like, oh, they're like, I love that episode. I'm like, oh, did you hear that story? They're like, oh, I was like, you didn't listen to the very end, did you? Like, no, it's like, go listen to the fucking second half. It was such a good story. But like when someone comes in and you're like, fuck, like I want to continue this like meet and greet kind of part, but I'm like, some of these stories are so good for the pod that like we need to start.
What
rolling.
you guys need to do is like, like those really artsy movies. Start with the back end of the podcast and then
just
like,
flip it.
Roll in.
We could try it one day.
Try it with an episode that works. Like try.
Yeah, with
like,
an episode where it's like noticeable difference in the first half and the
100.
second half, and we have somewhere we know like the second half was like on fire, and we're all just like going on all cylinders, and then
We could definitely try it.
Danny's like, I don't know. And Danny's kind of the boss, so like I listen to her when she says. But Lawrence, we wanted to get you on specifically to talk about Prince Street. Like this is, I feel like it's probably like one of the biggest like food and beverage stories in Toronto of the last like year or so. You know, like everybody knows Prince Street, New York. Tell us the story, how you brought it here, how it started, the idea, how the relationship started, everything.
All right, so I'm just gonna
Dive into it.
So I started an app in 2016, 16, called Off the Menu. I curated all the best secret menu items from all the coolest restaurants across North America. And I raised a little bit of money, went through it within the first probably 6 months, and had to figure out a strategy of how to like pivot from there. And so I started a food club in LA called Off the Menu. You paid $20 a month and you got access to one free secret menu item every day at cool restaurants around LA. So in order to do that,
So wait, sorry, this was like a membership club.
Yeah,
It was $20
it was a
and
food
you got-
club.
That's a genius idea for Off the Menu.
yeah, no, everyone says that, but it had a good run of like 6 years. Inevitably, I tried to do too much. But I'll focus on the Prince Street pizza of it. So in 2000, I'd go to New York, and my friend was Sean Avery, a hockey player from Toronto. And he's like, dude, best pizza, Prince Street Pizza. You got to go. So I'd go to Prince Street, and I met the owner's son, Dom, and we became friends. And in 2018, I called him. I said, why don't we bring Prince Street to LA as a pop-up on National Pizza Day? And he's like, let's do it. So we did it. I had 3-hour lines down the block. I had Childish Gambino waiting in line in the pouring rain the year he won his 2 Grammys. And it was insane. I was like, this is absolutely insane. We have to open one up in LA. I fly to New York a couple weeks later to meet Dom and his father at Peter Luger. And I made a pitch that was basically like, hey, I think Prince Street, you could have one Prince Street in every major cities. In some of the majors, like the really big cities, like LA, you could probably have like 3, maybe 5. And so let's start with one. So I opened one up in LA during the pandemic, and I had lines in 2 zip codes, literally in West Hollywood and going all the way to Beverly Hills.
Because it's right on Sunset, right?
It's right on Sunset Boulevard. It's very close to Beverly Hills. So saying
It's
2
like-
zip
I
No,
codes
that's
is
it.
like,
Fuck, it's good for the story. Yeah.
But anyways, it was a massive success. And I basically from there just started building the brand, building the culture, building like the Prince Street in LA. And then one thing led to another, and I became really close with a family. We did a deal where I became the CEO of the whole business and a partner in the whole business. And, you know, we made a pact to like build Prince Street as being the premium pizzeria in America or the world. Like that's really the goal is I want to be the premium pizzeria.
I saw one. I was in Vegas in November, and I saw one open up at the
Durango.
At the Resort World.
No, Durango. Not Resorts World. Resorts World tanking.
Was I?
You're smoking
Something.
something. Yeah, no, we're not in the Resorts World. There's a place called Mulberry Pizza. That's actually it was.
But you guys opened up in Vegas.
Yeah, we opened up.
Okay, so I walked by.
We opened up at the Durango in Vegas.
Okay, yes.
Obviously, me being from Toronto, I was like, okay, we got to have one in Toronto. And so many people calling me, being like, dude, why don't you open one up in Toronto? So I actively was looking for locations in Toronto, and I signed my deal in Toronto probably 2.5 years ago. Like literally, it was my second lease or third lease I signed. I've opened 10 of them now since then, and it took the well. I'm not going to get into politics or anything like that, but I don't know what's going on in Toronto during COVID. Apparently, nothing.
Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
And it took like literally like 2.5 years to build. So it should have been a lot sooner. But so I think the anticipation and the hype, people knew it was coming to Toronto. And yeah, so I looked at a couple locations. This one was the Well.
Well's perfect, right?
I saw the vision for it. I saw, you know, so we opened up in September at the Well. And kind of that's how Prince Street Pizza came to Toronto.
I have so many questions, and I didn't want to interrupt that story because it was a good story. My first is, what brought you to LA originally?
Entertainment business. I wanted to like produce, act. I wanted to be involved in it. I had started doing a TV series here. I don't know the name of it. It was a hockey TV series. I was an extra in it. And I was just like blown away by the production and everything going on. And I was getting $600 a day at like, you know, 17 years old, 18 years old. I was like, wow, I'm rich.
I know what you mean. I get it.
As being an extra playing hockey, I was like, this is awesome. And I really wanted to learn it. So I started taking film classes, and I moved to LA to go to the New York Film Academy at Universal Studios. And I never moved back. I was like, that was it. I was like living on a couch in a backyard. I was like telling all my Toronto friends, oh, I'm crushing it down here. Fucking, I didn't have a pot to piss in.
That's always how it goes. Like, you don't want to say fake it till you make it, but sometimes like you gotta, because fake it till you make it is almost like manifesting. Like, it's very similar. Yeah. Like, there's so many times where I'm like, I don't have this yet, but I'm just gonna tell people I have it, kind of pretend I have it, and then eventually I will have it.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna tell my parents and my family and friends.
I'm fucking like, broke.
I can't get into a club. I don't have any money, and I'm living in a backyard.
I feel like that's LA though. Everyone in LA, everyone's trying to get somewhere.
Yeah, it's so
that's
crazy.
Why you move there.
I think it's everywhere. Every major city where you have a dream to do something, unless it's like not everybody's just handed you like the keys to the kingdom.
Like who from New York is actually from New York that's living in the city?
Anyone New York's coming a lot. Maybe LA is different. I feel like a lot of people from LA aren't from LA.
Yeah, but I feel like New York too. If you're living in the city of New York, like not in the suburbs, like the other boroughs, but
maybe.
You could be right. Well, I'm not going to fight you on it, but I think I know for a fact
LA, everyone's coming
a lot
from,
of people don't live in aren't from LA, but I'll tell you, the best people are the people that are from LA.
Yeah.
And that grew up in LA. They get such a bad rap. And I was like, no, the people that are fucking the bozos are the people that move from other places to come to LA. The actual people that grew up in LA, like some of my like closest friends in LA are the people that grew up in LA.
Why do you think that is?
Because I think everybody comes like with a dream or a hope, and usually gets crushed, and usually you're
jaded or something.
You become jaded, and and then it's a trickle effect that just is disastrous until they move back to their hometown or wherever they're from.
That makes sense. Like small town Missouri or something.
Whatever,
So because again, now more to unpack. So you went there for entertainment, realized it wasn't going to work at roughly what age? Like, how did you go from there to food? Like, were you always a foodie?
Because
you are a foodie.
Yeah. So I tell everybody, totally. My family is a massive like food family.
But your family's also, because like Zach used to do movies and stuff too.
Yeah.
Zach did TV shows and stuff, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
Something like that too. So your family
we were all
like
failed. We were all failed entertainers.
Well, Dak did some show. Isn't that how he got like a whole bunch of his followers?
Listen, I produced Spaceballs, the animated series for Mel Brooks. I had TV shows.
So
I sold.
you didn't not make it. Like
No.
you were doing some stuff.
Yeah, but unless you really make it in like Hollywood,
You're not,
not making it. Like
You're still living in a
What was
shitty
like
little
your
spot.
dream thing to do?
Yeah. I think I think they changed. My dream as growing up as a Canadian was to play in the NHL.
Fucking right.
But I was short and fat, and it wasn't like
Don't sell
it wasn't-
yourself short, buddy. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, but I was.
You're
I
handsome
was.
though, so it's okay.
No, and I was actually in great shape when I played hockey.
Yeah, there you
But
You were one knee injury away from making it, right?
I think but at the time when I played, it was like nobody under 6 foot was going anywhere unless you were insanely skilled.
It's still kind of like that, right? Like you have to be so good unless you're like if you're not a big person, like the Martin St. Louis are one in a billion.
You
right?
have to be amazing. Yeah. So to answer your question, I want to be a hockey player. I want to produce movies. And then as you grow older, you understand you just want to do what you love. And I always loved food. I just didn't see how I fit in the food space because I wasn't a chef. I wasn't like, I didn't understand just the same way I didn't understand that I could be a producer in Hollywood. I thought you be an actor first, then you can become a producer. I thought you had to have money to be a producer. You didn't understand. And what happened is that my dream just became like building these brands and, creating the best of what you can do. And your dreams change. Like as I had a family, became a father, my dreams are to make sure my family is taken care of and my children have an amazing life. And so those are my dreams now. In order to get those things, you have to work hard every single day. The greatest thing for me is I don't feel like I have a job. Like people ask me about your job and it's like, I have the greatest job ever. I get to serve awesome food to hopefully everybody in the world.
And you get to serve food that people fucking love too.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like pies?
Okay, well,
you know what I mean?
Prince
pizzas,
Street opened in Toronto. I even know the hype around New York. I wouldn't go to New York often. Prince Street's always busy. Come to Toronto, when it opened, I swear to God, you cannot be in that.
Yeah.
It was minimum.
Well, I remember seeing the
minutes.
Blog TO video. It was someone from Blog TO did it. It was the line was all the way around the well thing, and I'm just man, this is a 3-4 hour lineup. What the fuck?
Yeah, it was 3 hours at one point, and I don't want that. You do want that for marketing. It's great, and people talk about it. But at the end of the day, it can hurt you because you have all these people waiting in line. If you're waiting in line for 3 hours, that better be the best fucking thing you've ever put in your mouth ever.
Yeah.
Ever. And it helps starving yourself for 3 hours. That's you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then some people might be annoyed by the end of it. They're like, fuck, I waited 3 hours. I can finally get in this pizza.
Well, and it's the first week we open. So you got kinks. Never judge your restaurant the first 2 months it opens.
No, you
It's
can't.
not fair because
No.
it takes time. That oven I got to work in and you know what I mean? So but we know what we're doing. Obviously I'm not going to open the doors unless the pizza does taste good,
Oh, it tastes amazing.
So thank you.
Yeah, we just had it.
We just had a
good
piece of
guest
pizza.
brought us food too,
Yeah.
so it's a big win. Fuck, I have so many more questions, and I'm trying to
Why
stay
don't you keep
focused.
asking them?
I know,
Stop
but
saying I got.
I know that because I'm
questions.
trying
You
to stay
said that
focused.
5 times.
Because I'm trying to stay focused on the question. So,
Okay.
but now that we're on Prince Street here, the water situation. Let's talk.
That's what I
want to
talk about.
Because then I want to get back into the LA stuff too. But water.
Okay.
Let's stick on the water.
So
for
the-
now. Tell us, because the rumor is that you guys put in a filtration system.
Facts.
What?
It's not a
Do you know
rumor.
it's a fact?
Yeah.
Have you
Yes.
spoken
Yes.
to him
Have you
about
have you
it?
read any?
Have you
seen
read the
any-
news articles?
Yeah, the news articles. They show you the water maker.
It's literally on there's a picture of it.
It's called the New York water maker.
Okay, so but my question is New York water is dirtier than Toronto water?
Don't. I'm not a scientist, and I can't tell you why New York water is better for making dough bagels. They say it's a harder water, but why I have it to go back to that was because I made a deal with the family who started Prince Street that we'd always have New York water. And it's not cost effective to ship water every day in from New York City. So there is a company that started called the New York Water Maker. And what they do is we send them samples of Toronto water, of LA water, of Las Vegas water. And what they do is they manipulate it to become New York water, because all water has the same type of like minerals and chemicals in it. Just some people use, some cities use different ones. And so what we do, this company does, it creates a filtration for inside of your restaurant that makes LA water turn into New York water, or Toronto water turn into New York water. So my deal with the family was that we always had to have New York water. Thank God this company was around that was able to do it. And you pay them, it's basically you pay them monthly for the system, and it's been working out great. We have it in all of our restaurants.
Is it like safe to, like, obviously you can cook with it, but is it safe to like drink?
Yeah.
Well, New York water is safe to drink.
That's what I'm thinking. Like,
They're
I go
saying
to New
it's
York and I
better
drink
than-
water.
But the thing is that I never have tested, because I think actually Toronto water might be better than New York.
I like Toronto
Like,
water.
yeah, no, I know. So
Like, I'm a big tap water
Someone
guy.
got mad at me the other day at work for like drinking the tap water and not using
Yeah.
like the filtration system in the fridge. I'm like, hey, like it's been proven also that like the Britas and all that are actually worse for you. And then like the tap water is better.
Is this a health episode? Because I'm not going
No, I just
person for this.
I'm big. I'm a big tap
but
water.
I'm a big tap water person. So like I like, and I love New York.
Yeah, LA, you
so-
don't want to drink the tap water. That's like you definitely don't want
LA,
it.
I've
Yeah.
heard that. Okay, so now rewinding back to LA. You did the pop up. How did you just call the guys from Prince Street, like the family, and be like, hey, like I love your fucking pizza. I'm a foodie. Like, let's do so. How does that start?
So Sean Avery, the hockey player, introduced me to them, and Dom Morano, the son who started Prince Street, loves the Rangers. Like, loves the Rangers.
Sean Avery
And
played there.
yeah, and they had Sean and him had a bond. Sean, I guess, beat up 3 guys in front of the store one day, and then the guy that he beat up was like, "Hey man, can I get a picture with you?" Like, crazy story. Yeah, and Dom. So that was where we became me. So when I'd come to New York, I'd stay with Sean, and I'd go to Prince Street, and we became like buddies, me and Dom. And I said, come to LA, I'll fly you out there. I had this company off the menu, so I was doing these like experiences, and like, because I also have a festival called Tenderfest, which is a chicken tender festival that I do every year at the Wallace Annenberg Center for Performing Arts. So I have all the
We're
like
going.
best chicken tenders in America, Raising Cane's, as the tender vendors, and then I get like 4 celebrity chefs that are the contenders, and they have basically the contender competition for the best chicken tender. And I do that every year, and I have this thing called the Burger Showdown. You didn't do any research on me, did you?
Well, I try not to do it, to be honest. I try not to, because then it becomes an interview.
In 2018, I ate a burger a day every day for a year.
Did you actually?
Yeah. And
What's your favorite burger?
Great question.
My favorite burger in Toronto?
No.
Well, I
ever.
want to hear Toronto, New York, LA, because I have a strong opinion on New York.
So, full disclosure, I own a burger company that I'm growing called Irv's Burgers,
Okay, yes.
which is a pretty awesome burger company. And I also am an investor in one called Burgers Never Say Die. That kind of changed my life on burgers. It was the first smash burger. You know, everyone.
Okay,
does
so you
smash
like a
burgers?
smash burger.
So the company that I invested in like 5-6 years ago was the first like hype smash burger. There's 2-hour lines in this guy's backyard to get this burger. So, and basically in 2018, I woke up and I said to my wife, I was like, I'm going to eat a burger every day. I want to try every burger in LA to make sure that like I'm investing in the right business.
Oh, I have so many questions for you.
So I ate a burger every day, but I do these like experiences. So that's how I brought Prince Street, was through doing a National Pizza Day, and I did it in 2018, 2019, and then we opened up the store. And then I have this thing called the Burger Showdown, where during COVID I teamed up 50 celebrities with 50 burger joints across the country, to all be delivered by Uber Eats. Every celebrity and restaurant created their own off-the-menu burger. And I had like celebrities like Matthew McConaughey, Jason Sudeikis, Dwayne Wade, Mitch Marner, like 50 awesome celebrities. Even like crazy ones too, like Brian Boitano. Do you know who that is? Figure skater. Do you ever see the South Park episode? What would Brian Boitano do? You know, yeah. Brian Boitano, but awesome celebrities. Melissa McCarthy, Yeah, it was massive. I did 4 billion impressions through that whole food experience, and then we did the Wing Showdown where I had Snoop Dogg and all those guys.
Okay, wait. Take out all your restaurants. What's your favorite restaurant in Toronto, LA, New York?
That's tough because it's going to be a competing one.
And I have so many friends in the restaurant business, so I'd rather not answer that.
Really?
But in terms of like the one restaurant from like this from when I was a kid all the way to like now that I love is California sandwich.
Oh, amazing.
Yes.
But it's location based.
No, I think they're all great.
No, they're all great, but
I've never had a bad one.
location based.
Which one's your favorite?
I love Richmond Hill.
No, you mean Vaughan.
No, Richmond Hill.
Richmond Hill?
Elgin Mills and Young.
Okay.
That was like my original one. Well, I used to live near there.
Okay, that's why.
But I just like
the one in Woodbridge,
the
California sandwiches Woodbridge is I think the best one.
And then the Woodbridge one I was gonna say.
No.
Yes.
I'm like
what are you gonna
big
say?
on
The one
the
at Shepherd?
The Dufferin one.
Dufferin and Shepherd.
No, you're thinking that's a Chesswood one. You're thinking I'm thinking like the Dufferin near Dufferin and Eglinton.
Oh wow!
All I'm saying
they have the food.
So it moved.
They
It
have
moved.
the
Yeah,
hot
that
table.
one. That one moved. So it used to be up the street. It was a smaller one. They just outgrew it. I think they had their unit, then they got the unit next door to it because it was it was always slammed. And then they moved down the street to this corner unit.
Like there was a while I wouldn't
that's
go
my
anywhere,
favorite.
like, and I would just order though from one certain location. California
slaps.
sandwich is the best.
So
Wait. Do you do sauce on the side?
No.
No, but I know people say that, and that's like the way now is sauce on the side. I do sauce on and on the side.
I'm a sauce. Depends if I'm eating in. If I'm eating in, I do sauce on regular. If I'm like taking to go, I do sauce on the side.
So that's probably the food that got me into the food business, because really the first thing I was gonna do in LA was actually the first food thing that I failed at that I wanted to do in LA was opening up a Canadian bar and restaurant.
Because there's
like a Joe Beef in LA. Well, A, I had no experience in the restaurant business, so nobody wanted to give me any money. B, it was I just didn't like I just didn't know what I was doing, and I thought young people, they think they know everything, but they really know nothing. And as you get older, you realize you know nothing, and there's so much to learn. And when you realize that you know nothing and you need to learn everything is when when I had a break in my life of like, okay, you don't know anything, kid. You need to fucking like get your shit together.
How old were you when that happened?
It was
Roughly.
Probably in my 30s.
See, it's funny because I'm
like my early 30s. I was like, my 20s I wasted on like chasing chicks and parties and thinking like if I didn't get into a party, I'm such a loser, which is like such a waste of my time. Like my 20s I wasted way.
Well, you can't say wasted, right? Because again, you learn things and like it brought you where you are now. But I'm the same way. Like
You
when I was
learned
in my
everything
20s,
your parents told you.
Yeah.
Drugs and alcohol are bad for you.
Yeah.
Don't chase women.
I'm not 30 yet, so.
Yeah, Daddy's still good. Daddy's still
I
all
got 2 years.
No, but again,
Yeah.
when you're in your 20s, like you think when you're in your teens, you really think you know it all. You're like, fuck you, mom and dad. I know everything. It's like, no, you know literally nothing.
But I wanted to bring California sandwiches to LA. And but
isn't it only family owned? Family owned and operated, right?
Full disclosure, my sister married.
Oh, so you get a restaurant. Your sister gets a restaurant. Isn't that like the
Well, kind of. She married to Nick Severino, who runs the Woodbridge one. And he actually is kind of like, I want to say, their CEO. He helps with all of them and like tries to keep them all the same. That's the biggest problem, is that they all ran off and did their own thing. And as you realize, me growing all these businesses, you got to keep your systems and your processes dialed in, or else very easily the one in LA is going to be different from the one in San Diego, and the one in Vegas is going to be different because the GM thinks that and if you give everybody free reign to do whatever they want, things are going to change.
Well, it's like the McDonald's movie, right?
Yeah.
Did you see that one with
course.
whatever? Where it's like they had the McDonald's in El Paso or something, like serving tacos, and the guy's like, Ray Crocker's like, what the fuck is this? Like,
I mean, every single McDonald's in different countries has different menus.
no, but back then.
And in Chicago, they have a global one. I really want to go.
Anyways, well, I don't care about that anymore. Fuck, what was it? Out of all the projects you've ever worked on, what was your favorite?
You're like asking me things that are like, it's like, what's your favorite child?
No. Well, no. Out of all the projects you've worked on, right? Like, there's got to be one that like really stands out, right?
Yeah, I think like honestly doing the burger showdown.
So there we go.
In 2000 in the during the pandemic. So I did an event where I had 10 celebrities and 10 local restaurants create an off the menu burger. And that was my first.
I love the off the menu plug too, eh?
It was my first like event, right? And I did it for the LA Times, and I had Tommy Lee did a burger. You know Tommy Lee? He wanted to do a burger the shape of his dick, which was really creative. So it was a long burger. It was like a meat hot dog. And it was like, because he's Greek, it had like some Greek stuff in it. I had
white tzatziki or something.
I had what other big celebrity? Oh, I had Marshmello, the DJ, do a burger with a company called Plan Check. I did Shay Mitchell did a burger with I think they did a plant-based burger. And so I had like 10 great celebrities create a burger, and then the pandemic, and that was an awesome festival, and I thought I'd be doing them everywhere. And then the pandemic hit, and we couldn't do any more festivals. So I figured out how to do a digital festival, and I think I blew everybody's mind when I got 50. I teamed up 50 celebrities with 50 restaurants, and I did it all within like 2 months. I put it all together within 2 months. Uber, thank God for a girl at Uber who like believed in it and believed in me and our team, and gave us the money to be able to do it. But it was for a great cause. It was for frontline workers, and it was like probably one of the most successful digital food campaigns ever. So I think that was pretty exciting. But then taking the story behind Irv's Burgers is pretty fascinating. So the company I bought Irv's Burgers. It was one of the oldest burger stands in LA. 1946 it opened. As Queenie's Burgers. It was the first burger stand on Route 66. And it was like this, it had this West Hollywood, it was like the favorite burger stand in West Hollywood. And even through different ownerships, and a Korean family bought it in 2000, and the landlord, Pete's Coffee, tried to kick them out in 2005. The whole city got behind them and didn't let the bulldozers go in and take down the burger stand. It became a historical landmark. They inevitably got kicked out in 2013, and they went down the road. And then in 2018, when I was eating a burger a day, I met them, and they were trying to save Irv's Burgers. And at that time, I put all my money into another burger company called Burgers Never Say Die. So I didn't have any money to help them out at all. 2 years later, I was looking for more locations for Prince Street, and I went to the place where it was now shut down. There was no more Irv's. It had been shut down for 2 years. And I said to my real estate agent, I was like, we got to bring back Irv's. So I called up Sonia. I said, hey, I'm going to give you the money. At this time now I had money. I said, I'm going to give you the money to put in all your equipment. And she's like, I don't want to run the business. Buy it from me, and then I'll work for you. And I was kind of like, oh my God, I have this ability to take this classic burger stand and bring it back, but not only bring it back, make it like the burger stand of my dreams that I could scale across the business and create basically what I want to do is as you get older, you see all these restaurants closing and all these local burger stands closing. So I was like, let me be the burger stand in America. And I think I could open up an Irv's Burgers in every city across the country. So I'm sad. You didn't know about Irv's Burgers either. You did no research on me.
No, I did. Again, I don't do too much because then it becomes an interview. It's like, tell me about this.
Yeah,
I know you bought Irv's Burgers. I read the story. Tell me about it. And it's like, we used to do that, and
there's also plans the question sometimes in your head.
Yeah.
One question we had, we wanted to talk about the water thing. We got that out of the way.
Yeah.
And then now, when we're talking to you, it kind of just builds more organic conversation.
My next question is completely random. What do you think your greatest strength is?
Is this an interview?
No, I'm genuine because I'm the way you're talking, the way you describe yourself. I don't know if your greatest strength is that you're really good at connecting the dots, or if you're just such a creative person where you big dreams. In your opinion, what's your greatest strength?
I think
because I feel like you have a lot. I'm very interested in what
I
you
think I'm a people's person. I think that I make people feel comfortable. I think
you do.
I'm a good salesperson. But I don't think I'm like a salesperson where I'm trying to sell you a fucking used car.
Yeah.
I think you're like, oh yeah, no, I think this guy clearly likes to eat. You can tell he likes to eat and he loves what he's doing. And I'm passionate. But I think my greatest asset is probably like relationships, but also like, follow through and actually being a genuinely good person.
Like talking to you for like even like the past, like I don't know how long it's been, but like I believe in my brain now that Urs Burgers is the best burger that you can
you're
have.
a great storyteller too.
Like just the way you're like saying it, like that. I'm truly convinced in my brain, like that is the best burger.
Yeah, and by the way, there's a lot of great burgers in the world. The key is though how you deliver the burger. I like trying really like In-N-Out is the best burger experience. Have you been to In-N-Out Burger?
You think so?
Awful burger, not awful.
I'm always disappointed.
You know what? Thank you for saying that. Everybody from outside of California is usually like, same thing like Whataburger in Texas. It's like, ugh, God. It's even like Weber's has gone downhill.
It is because
Weber's
it's chained
been
now.
shit for like 10 years.
But you know why? It's because they're getting a lot of their stuff made in Barrie now at a factory, not on site.
So
Weber's is like the Magoo's of like the Muskoka.
I love that you said Magoo's.
Like, Apache.
Have
like,
you had Magoo's lately?
not in the last like 5 years.
Magoo's was like, that was the
Etobicoke spot.
That was my spot.
When you said California sandwich was what inspired you, I was willing to bet you would have said Apache or Magoo's.
So you know what? The experience I had is my parents used to be like, oh, Apache burger. And then I'd go to Apache burger and I was like, ugh, this is awful.
You went after hockey on Sunday or something.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we're not getting McDonald's. We're going to Apache. I was like, well, okay, what's the occasion? Like, we're not getting McDonald's today after hockey. We're going to Apache. What's the occasion? Like, what are we doing? And I'm not an Etobicoke guy. I grew up in North York, so like a little bit away. But
what was the burger in North York? Johnny Anderson's?
To be honest, we were just all California Sanger guys.
Oh, cool.
Either the Chestwood location or the Dufferin location. Like,
yeah.
Always. Like, that's when, if we were having like a good Sunday meal or something, that's where we went.
What was the question? Did we go on a fun tangent?
I can't even remember.
Oh, you said you believed in me that yeah. So my point about burgers is that like you get nostalgia about the burger that you grew up with. Yeah. That's the best burger to all of us. And like in California, everyone grew up with In-N-Out Burger, right? So they're nostalgic to it. But the thing about In-N-Out Burger, and this is where I was getting to, is that you have the same experience every single time you go in there. It is so well operated that it's insane. That's what's so good about In-N-Out Burger and the culture that they've built and like and the uniforms and everything like that. But it's not the best burger.
Tried like the onion, like the
what's
it called, the flying
the new
Dutchman? TikTok trend. It's like instead of buns, you put like 2 grilled onions, like full grilled onions, as the burger bun.
That's not the Flying Dutchman though.
Isn't that?
No, that's the Flying Dutchman is it's a secret menu item. I study this stuff inside and out. Flying Dutchman was made in the 70s for people to feed their dogs. So basically, you go to In-N-Out Burger and it was meat, cheese, meat. That was the Flying Dutchman.
You do grilled onions with the Flying Dutchman.
Now it's grilled onions with the Flying Dutchman is a TikTok craze. But like the thing about In-N-Out, which is kind of the reason. So I created off the menu because I was creating TV shows. And I created this TV show called Off the Menu because when I used to work for the producer of The Matrix. My first job in LA was working for the president of Silver Pictures, who he was producing The Matrix, Lethal Weapons, and a bunch of movies here in Toronto too. The DMX movies and Steven Seagal ones. I forget the name of them now.
Lethal Weapon?
Not Lethal. No, it was Cradle to the Grave and I forget.
I know exactly what you're talking
shot
about.
Here. And I went out to dinner with my boss at Spago, Wolfgang Puck's restaurant, and they brought out a smoked salmon pizza, and I was like, "Yo, that thing's not on the menu." And it was a secret menu item that Wolfgang Puck would bring out to like his famous friends, and like it made you feel like you're in the know. And then the next day, I went to In-N-Out Burger, and my friend's like, "Dude, you got to order it animal style." What the fuck is animal style? Animal style is when it's made with mustard. Your patty's fried with mustard. Then they have extra sauce, and that's like animal style. I was like, oh, that's so cool. And animal style was made originally in the 1969. Basically, they used to call all the surfers that hanged out in the parking lot animals, and the chefs at the end of the shift, they'd make the burgers the way they wanted them. And one of the animals came by and said, "Hey, what are you doing there? What's that burger? I've never seen that." They're like, "Next time you come, order it animal style." And basically all of the surfers and all the kids started ordering it animal style. And by word of mouth, people started calling it animal style. And it was like the first ever like secret menu item. And from there, they realized that you let the customer's always right, let them create whatever they want. And from there, they make Neapolitan shakes, and you have the protein burger, and like, so any sort of 4x4s. And
well, because like everything at In-N-Out, I feel like is all off menu.
Yeah.
Everything on the actual
There's
menu.
only three things on the menu.
Yeah. It's burgers, fries, milkshakes.
Yeah. But you
and then you can play around with it. And like, unless you know.
What's the first off the menu item you've ever tried?
Well, it was a Spago smoked salmon pizza. And then it was animal style. And then I would go to every restaurant and be like, hey, what's off the menu? Hey, what do people order that, like, if you're in the know? And basically I created a list of all these secret menu items. And then I like sold it as a TV show. Then I was like working in social media, and I created an app called Off the Menu where I cataloged them all. And that's kind of how I got into like food, was by like being in entertainment and then being in social media. And then my assistant made a meeting for me on LinkedIn. And I was like, why would you do that? This was like 10 years ago. Nobody takes meetings on LinkedIn. And I took a meeting and they said, hey, you could build your own app. And why don't you have all these influencers build their own apps? And I was like, no, I got a great idea for an app, because I came from the comic book world. The reason why we created comic books, because we'd come into these studios pitching these big movies, and they're like, is that a book? Is that a comic book? No. Oh, then we don't want it. Like it has to come from IP. It has to come from a story first. So I was like, well, if I create this app, then I could own the IP, then I could own the show. And that's kind of like the whole like philosophy I had about creating Off the Menu. And then it led me down this whole path of like food and learning, like, because Off the Menu would market and promote restaurants.
Yeah.
And then what I realized is that there's not a lot of good restaurants out there. There's like
Can
a
I
lot.
ask you what your favorite restaurant is in LA?
Yeah. Like, so honestly, I think like here's my answer to like generally what's my favorite restaurant in LA is where I could eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which takes away a lot of places. Yeah. But there's a place called John and Vinny's.
I went, yeah.
It's a red sauce joint, and they do everything great.
Yeah.
What's a red sauce joint?
Do you know what red sauce is?
Like hot sauce?
No, like tomato sauce.
Oh,
Sugo?
yeah. Sugo, yeah.
Yeah, like chicken parm.
Oh,
like
okay.
Places
it's
like
good.
that.
So it's an Italian restaurant, no?
When I give you the list, I think
you give me a list of 50 places. I was there for 3 days.
Yeah, I think like probably John and Vinny's would be the place I would like. It
is such a good vibe in there too. Like
Yeah.
you go in, it's so chill. They don't serve any liquor, only red wine, beer, and their food, and it's just a solid meal every single time you go. And it's like chill. Like you can go like dressed up, or you can go like.
Because that's how they are. My
Yeah.
first meeting, I shouldn't say this. My first meeting with John from John and Vinny's, I was trying to get them on my app. And at 9 a.m., I hope you don't get mad if I say this. He was like, dude, let's go smoke a joint. Like we went and smoked a joint in the back of his restaurant at 9 a.m. Like it was like, and they're the two coolest guys. They're like so cool. That's why they're like, their vibe is that.
Yeah,
like,
no, I had such a good time there. We ended up staying there, and we just kept talking. Like me and the girls were just kept talking and talking. They closed the whole restaurant down, and then the servers were like, hey, we're actually closing now. Like we're just gonna bring you out back. So they brought us out back, brought us to the front, because we were just like overstayed. But it was like such a good time. Yeah.
customer service.
It was great customer service.
I was working out at Equinox yesterday. Believe it or not, I work out, and I had my own protein powder because I'm trying to like I do a master reset every year. I get really fat and I get myself back into shape. My wife said that's not good for yourself, so I got to keep on.
Consistent.
Consistent. My wife's a fitness trainer, was like a celebrity fitness trainer, like the queen of West Hollywood, like Barry's Boot Camp. You know that? 16 years, she was like the face of it. And so I'm. Anyways, back to customer service. I was at.
You're trying to stay in shape. Okay.
I was at
Equinox,
and I go to the IQ bar to get a protein shake, and I have my own protein. I was like, "Can you please put my own protein?" Like they're like, "No, you got to mix it yourself." I was like, you can't put my protein in your blender and shake it. And they're like, no. I was like, can I have a manager? Manager's not here. I was like, okay, let me try this. And I'm like, And I was like, honestly, do you guys know anything about customer service? I'm not trying to be a dick. I own restaurants and everything like that. It'd be very easy and make my experience better here if you guys just did that. There's no line. There's nobody else here. And I was honestly, and I felt like now, and I understood from a customer's point of view. I was like, I'm going to go on Yelp and fuck you. I didn't know, but I was just like, but I felt like it because I was like, it's all about customer service. You have that experience of John and Vinny's now forever because somebody was nice to you.
Yeah.
I'm actually a Google reviewer, like side thing. So you said Yelp, like I literally, one of my New Year's resolutions in like 2018 was to write Google reviews. So I wrote like probably like 500 Google reviews over the course of like 3 years, 2 years maybe. And
you wrote one for Prince Street?
No, well, I can't. You can't write it like if you haven't had it. So I'll write one now that I've tried it here. But
you haven't tried it?
Well, I've tried it in New York, but actually I didn't write it. That was before I started. Actually, no, it would have been around the time I was doing it because I went in 2021, 2022. Anyways, I'll write one.
I'm expecting it.
Yeah, you'll see a good one. And I have like a lot of like stars on my thing because I write a lot of Google reviews. I'm like level 7 or something. But no, that was one of my things because I used to hate when people leave bad reviews based off like a stupid scenario.
Yeah.
It was like one of my biggest pet peeves. And I love reading reviews. And
do you think this is a bad scenario? The person refusing to take my protein?
No, that is. But again, you can't. If you give it 1 star, then you got to explain why. Because then you give at least management a chance to be like, oh, you know what? We have our procedures and protocols. And at least let them explain it. It's still a shitty situation for you, and I get it. But
I wouldn't have given them a 1 star. It would have been more of like a 2.
Yeah,
because the shake was good.
Yeah, I would have given a 3 for that.
I had them because
like for me, a 1 star. I've only given 1 star in my entire life ever.
Oh, really?
Where?
Fuck it. Good Life Fitness in Brampton. Sorry, LA Fitness in Brampton. Sorry, Good Life. LA Fitness in Brampton. It was disgusting. It's like fucking pigs lived in that fucking place. It was like the most. And I'd go there. I'd be like, hey, the men's change room is like literally disgusting. Like, can you clean it? And they'd be like, yeah, we'll send someone. And then I'll go back the next day. And I usually go every morning around 7 a.m. Like the place opens at like 5 or 6.
Are pretty expensive.
No, well, that one was cheap at the time, and it was just disgusting. There's hair everywhere. People leave like. Ugh. And I told him, and I give him a chance. So the guy's like, please, like, do better. Just do better. I don't want to do this. And they didn't, and I gave him a 1 star, and then I left, and I went to Good Life, and they sucked too, so I gave him a 3 star, and I haven't.
Now you're at Equinox?
No, I have a couple different memberships, but not Equinox. Equinox is too inconvenient for me to get to. I don't work out downtown often.
Yeah.
But the other question I was going to ask, be as descriptive as you possibly can. What's your death row meal?
Okay.
I've been waiting to ask this whole episode.
Asked this in a long time.
Yeah, I've been waiting to ask this whole episode, and I didn't want to ask. And
Is
I'm
the
like,
episode over?
No, but like we still got.
This is an important
probably
question.
just 40. Oh, so we're good.
We take this question very seriously.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
and you're a foodie. We haven't asked the food.
And you can't. You don't have to restrict yourself. Like
we're gonna open it up with an egg McMuffin for McDonald's, sausage egg McMuffin for McDonald's. It's a big meal, right?
Yeah. No, anything you want. I want like courses.
It'll be for breakfast. I'm gonna have a sausage egg McMuffin for McDonald's. And then I'm gonna have a sweet veal with cheese sauce on both top and the side.
From where?
From California Sandwiches.
Which location?
Woodbridge, because it's free.
You're gonna die tomorrow. Who cares? Money can't take the money to the grave, anyways.
No.
What drinks are you washing those down with?
So I'm washing it down with Mexican Coke all the way through. If I don't have I'm not caring about calories or anything like that.
Yeah, you're dying.
I'm drinking Mexican Cokes.
Mexican Coke, really?
Yeah.
No one's ever given that answer.
I like Diet Coke.
Oh, because in Canada they have good Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the same in the States, but still, Mexican Coke is by far a superior drink to all Cokes. It's the best.
Like, are you saying Coke or like cola?
No, Mexican Coke. It's a different. You can get it at like.
Have you not had Mexican Coke?
No.
You'll like it. You would like it.
I thought you were talking about like the Mexican colas that they have, like Jabritos or whatever it's called.
No. It's basically real Coca-Cola with the real formula using cane sugar. Mm-hmm. Real sugar.
And it's still Coca-Cola.
You can come and get it at Prince Street Pizza. Prince Street Pizza in Toronto carries Mexican Coke.
Okay, noted.
Okay.
So, off the menu.
Yeah, no, it's not. Everyone knows about it. It's on the menu. Okay, and then I had my sweet veal sandwich. And then we're gonna I'll probably have a spicy spring from Prince Street Pizza on the side, slice. I'm gonna go to Then I'm going to go to my burger love. I'm going to have a burger with a pressed patty like Irv's make it. Not too smashed, but like pressed that's still juicy. A double. 2 slices of cheese. A sesame seed bun. Ketchup and mustard only. I'll leave, and then I would do, and I don't know exactly where I'm going to say the best are, but I like fried calamari. I'd rather have fried calamari than French fries. And then
Is that an option to substitute anywhere? Fried calamari instead of French fries.
no, you gotta bring it yourself.
We should make that a thing.
Burgers and calamari. Burgers and calamari.
I'd be way more down for that.
When you said like, yeah, I like fried calamari with French fries, I'm like, is he thinking onion rings? But he made it very specific that he said fried calamari. So.
And then I'm gonna have cookie dough ice cream from Salt and Straw.
Where's Salt and Straw?
It's everywhere in the States.
Okay.
It's one of the Rock is an investor in it. It's great ice cream. We're actually going to be starting an ice cream company beside Prince Street in West Hollywood that I'm really excited about. And then I think good. I'm pretty full there. I think I'm good with that.
No wine or anything? Not a steak guy?
I'm not. I'm not a liquor. Oh yeah, no. I love a Wagyu. I would eat a Wagyu steak. Probably a tomahawk from Browsey Acres. It's Ronda Rousey's burger or farm.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a solid meal.
Yeah.
I like
Solid
that.
meal.
I like that answer.
Oh, and then my mother's scalloped potatoes with lots of cheese would be good. My grandmother's meatballs would be in there too. Yeah, for sure. My grandmother's meatballs I would eat.
The meatballs at John.
Your grandmother's still around?
No.
Oh, okay.
She passed.
I was gonna say that'd be very lucky for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just saying like fuck mine been gone for a long time. Yeah. All of
So,
them.
but I just love food. But I like food that's right down the middle. Like I said, like my whole thing, my thesis of my food career is premium fast food. I believe that I can like deliver good food fast. That's why I'm in.
What's your favorite cuisine?
American.
All time.
American.
Hey, Daddy, over to you too. That's a good question. I feel like we haven't.
Mine's easy. Italian, obviously.
It's Italian for sure.
Yeah. Like there's not I would pick Italian over anything any day.
Yeah, because you get the veal
You
parm,
get
you got
anything.
pasta,
Veal parm and chicken parm and all that. That's American Italian. It's not actually an Italian
Still
dish.
Italian.
Still Italian.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm more of American. Like for me, a good steak, like a good steak
That
with a
can be
good Caesar
Italian,
salad,
Florence.
with a good Caesar salad.
Yeah,
You know, like
steak and a great.
are you a
Caesar
Harry's
salad.
guy? La Castile?
So I was at Harry's.
Harry's is fucking solid.
It's a great spot. I love that vibe. I wish when I lived here it was around. I actually walked in there to go meet my friends, and my friend accidentally ate too much mushrooms. And he looked at me. He's like, I was like, "What?"
Well, did you see Michael Bublé this weekend on the All-Star thing?
No, what happened?
So the NHL All-Star weekend, and Michael Bublé is one of like the celebrity coaches or captains, whatever. And apparently, like he was going to microdose before getting up on the ice to like announce the team, and he took too much mushrooms. So he's doing the press conference after, and like you don't know if this is a joke or if he was real. But he goes, yeah, you know, and he's like clearly like noticeably fired up. And he's like, yeah, you know, my buddy gave me a microdose, and it turned out to be a full dose, and here we are. And we're like, Michael Bublé just fucking say that on TV. Like I rewinded the TV because I was like, I wasn't really paying attention.
See that yet.
And then I rewinded because I'm like, I want to know if this is like if this was a comedy bit or if this was like a real press conference, and it was real.
he macrodosed.
Yeah. I was dying. I was just like fucking Michael Bublé. Unreal. This is again completely off topic. If you weren't a foodie or entertainment, what would you do?
I'd be playing hockey.
Okay, but that's not realistic.
Why? Why don't you
You
say
tried.
that?
Ask me why
You
are
tried.
you putting guidelines on my
You
on your
tried.
questions?
You tried.
Okay.
You tried.
I don't know.
Not tall enough.
Yeah. So you know what? I'll tell you. Like now, what would I do if I like knew as a young kid? Okay, this is where I'd invest in Apple stock. I'd invest in certain stocks like now. But what I would really do is like, I didn't realize growing up in Canada that other than being a hockey player, there was other jobs in hockey. So what I would probably do is like, and say I want to own a team, but you have to do something to own a team. You can't like practice owning a team.
Yeah.
You got to do something else than buy a team. I would probably want to be like a GM. I crush in my fantasy hockey leagues. So I'd probably like
I didn't know there was fantasy hockey.
want to be.
I just thought fantasy football.
There's fantasy everything.
Yeah, I'd probably want to like run and own like, and I feel like I could market like the NHL's. I shouldn't say this publicly, but
Say
I will.
it. 'Cause I agree.
The NHL's the worst marketed sport in the world.
It is.
And
You think it's behind baseball?
Way behind.
yeah.
Especially in the
I think baseball's so
No,
trash.
in the United States, baseball can take over everything. It's just Canada. We have one team.
The problem with baseball compared to football is there has 162 games.
Yeah.
So it's watered down.
Not
Whereas
including
like
the-
in football you have 16,
17
games and like one
There's just too
one
many.
playoff game. What's that?
There's too many. Like I love baseball, but it's again there's too many
Well,
games.
baseball's a declining sport, right?
Not in the U.S.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
Yeah, I think he.
you might
I
be
think
right,
he
but at the
is
same
right.
time, like I think it's a good sport.
Hockey's the best sport in the world.
Yeah.
The worst marketed.
Yeah, I'm
so
with you on that.
what I'm saying is that you have baseball's also kind of like it's a little slow. It's not as exciting. Hockey's like
Would you ever think about like an OHL or a junior team?
to own or to like
To
run.
get in there, yeah. I feel like with your connections now, and like the person you are, I feel like that's not like out of the question.
No, I'm gonna own a hockey team one day.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, for sure.
fucking right.
An NHL team.
Yeah, I'm gonna own an NHL team, but it's just gonna take me a few
We're like
more
Yeah.
time to get there.
shooting for the stars right now.
I
We're
love
not-
that.
we're
I own a
not going
pickleball team, a
OHL,
professional
junior A.
pickleball team.
Yeah, I thought about doing that. I got obsessed with pickleball for a second.
Did you?
Big in LA.
It's massive in LA.
Yeah.
Cali.
That is the fastest growing sport in America.
It's in North America.
He's a team owner.
No, in the world.
No, not in the world.
Oh,
Not in the world.
Padel is?
Padel's bigger in Europe. Padel's the pickleball of Europe, specifically because of Spain. Spain and like a lot of those like Spain, Portugal, I think France, Italy, Greece. Padel's like massive. But pickleball in North America is the fastest growing sport.
Okay.
Like by like no sport is even near it.
Okay.
Mind you, it's also because it's coming from like next to zero players. Like I think 10 years ago there was a couple million. Now there's I think 40-ish million.
What's the
playing
plan with pals? Like, are you guys gonna brand it or do like what's the? Do you guys have a product?
it? Well, we
other
have
than
have
this?
merch. We have merch.
No, yeah,
we
yeah,
sell
yeah.
it just for fun. Like it's just so we don't just again bleed money.
Does pals stand for anything?
No. So it's hard because me and my old co-host George, we used to call each other pals all the time. Like,
Yeah.
You know, like buddy, like bro. Like I just say pal. Like anytime I pick up the phone, I generally say pal.
Yeah.
So it started at New Year's 2019, going into 2020. We were in Florida together. We're like, hey, let's start. You know, let's New Year's resolution. I wanted to start something new. That was my New Year's resolution. This year it was stop biting my nails. I'm 45 days not biting my nails. Like I know that sounds stupid to most people. To me, that's a massive
No, it's
accomplishment.
big.
It's great.
So we started the podcast, the Pals Podcast. The goal was to hang out once a week, undivided attention, just me and him, and just like make sure that we like strengthen our friendship and just like hang out, have cool conversations. And then from there, we started doing 2 week. The pandemic started, and since we're not like a legit media platform, we kept going. We didn't care. We just like, hey, we're gonna keep doing in-person ones. Like we had Donovan Bailey, Penny Alexiak. We had a bunch of NHL players.
Johnny Orlando.
Like a whole bunch of like
Wait, did you say who?
Johnny Orlando. He's a teeny bopper, but we were with him last night too at
I
Paris.
thought Tony Orlando. You said he's
No.
like a famous musician.
No, we've had like
Johnny Orlando, he's a musician.
yeah, we've had like a whole bunch of Juno Award winners. Like we try to focus mainly
Yeah,
Canadians.
the tennis player. She's been around. I seen her all.
Bianca.
Bianca.
No, Bianca
Andreescu?
Jessica. No, we
Yeah.
tried to get her,
We
but
tried.
something happened with her schedule when she like got injured. We didn't get her. But
I
we've
tried
done a
to
lot.
get her for the Burger Showdown thing I was doing. She's like, let me talk to your manager. And then I sent her manager was like, no, or something. I was like,
Yeah, sometimes it's tough because
She's
they're
hard to work
training.
with.
They're doing
Yeah.
so many things, right? But yeah, so we did it through the pandemic. Got some seed, and then I told you off air. George he was too busy with his family business, so Danny came on. And for us, the goal is still the same: meet cool people, share cool stories, and just like become pals.
can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you do the socks over the sweatpants for style or because it's more comfortable?
A little bit of both. Like I personally do like the look, but then it also keeps like when I'm walking, especially with track pants, it keeps them from like connected.
Yeah, because if I'm getting sick or I want to be real cozy in bed, I put my socks over my sweatpants, and it's a great thing. And I thought I'd look like a homeless person if I did this like publicly.
I do this
It's
publicly.
actually a very common thing now. It's actually
Yeah.
in style.
That's
to
what I'm saying.
wear-
Well, he looks like a cool guy, so I figured like this must be a cool thing.
Don't ever compliment on his fashion. Okay, like
Did you hear that?
we share the.
I have this
studio
on the
space.
podcast. I have this on air. He said I look like a cool guy.
We share a studio space with someone who's in the fashion industry, and he like designs clothes and everything. And like he comes into the studio, and he's like, "Oh, like just drive your car to mine. Like, you can wear one of my clothes. He's like, respectfully, but like, you have the worst style in the world. Like, I don't want to wear your clothes.
Oh, he said you have the worst style?
Terrible friend.
Yeah, I mean, he might think you look like a Gino from Woodbridge a bit.
He doesn't even know what a Gino from Woodbridge is because he's like a white guy from like Bradford.
Is that a thing though? Still, Gino from Woodbridge?
No, not anymore. Nobody
you
says the word
kidding me?
Gino anymore.
Okay,
Are
but
you allowed to?
Yeah, no, you're okay.
no,
You're okay.
That's fine. That's fine.
Oh, I'm Italian, so I'm allowed to say that.
You're allowed to say
Yeah.
You're fine. But no, it's still a thing.
I didn't.
I just feel like now, like, you just go as like the Woodbridge guys. Like, it's like so Woodbridge of
that's
you.
like, yeah,
Oh my god, it's so Woodbridge of you.
Yeah.
It's so
my
great
sister.
though.
My
that
sister's
that
in high
has
school.
a thing. It's so Woodbridge of you, you know?
Yeah.
Do you think
It's
you're
the same thing?
sorry? Do you think you're gonna stay in LA the rest of your life?
No. I don't. I would have 10 years ago. I would have said absolutely 100%. Unfortunately, I think me and my family might be testing a new state.
Can
You're
you
gonna
tell
stay
us?
in the U.S.?
Yeah, well,
Texas.
we were
Florida.
looking at. I was looking at moving to Dallas. I love Dallas.
Dallas
I just
is
didn't. My heart and soul of my business and things I do is in LA, so I have to be as close as possible. So now that I just opened up restaurants in Nevada and I'm planning on expanding to Nevada, we're looking at like moving to.
I
to
wish
Nevada.
George was here right now
George-
because
our old co-host loves
George
Vegas, too.
wants to move to. Well, he
Yeah.
wants to move to Vegas.
Well, people look at me like you're gonna move to Vegas.
okay,
Are you
come
gonna
on.
do your saying? I was like,
That's what I would say.
it's a completely different world
Off strip.
Okay, I get that. I've
No,
only
I'm
been
with
to
him, too.
Vegas once, but I would not want to move.
Again, it's
Tax
like
wise, it'd be a great decision for you.
yeah, well, and
Well,
just
why?
like
Tax perspective.
tax perspective, housing situation. Like you can buy a fucking mansion for like $1 million.
Yeah, so in Texas too.
Texas, you can, but like
Tennessee,
again,
too.
Vegas, there's a
Depends
lot
where
more
in all these
happening.
places. It all
Yeah.
depends on where in these places.
So
Like the nice neighborhoods in Nevada are actually like expensive.
yeah, they can, but you can't compare it to like Toronto. Like Toronto, like you don't even get a detached home for $1 million.
Yeah.
You know, like it's ridiculous.
I mean, not to get into politics, but Toronto is not the city that I left
Toronto's a dump.
20 years ago.
We talked about was it me and you that talked about this on the podcast a month ago, 2 months ago? When I was a kid, I always said Toronto would be home forever. Like I'm a fucking diehard for the city. Like I have a Toronto tattoo. Like I'm just like, this city used to mean so much to me, and then ever since COVID, I just found myself aligning less and less with the city. Like just the way COVID was handled, the way that
Well, there has to be a change. Like Toronto needs and not to get into politics, and because I never voted in Toronto or anything, but this city, whatever change it is, needs a major change, because
What country needs
my
a change
friend's
right
house
now?
just got broken into, like insane,
car
like in like
thefts.
I'm like
It just-
getting there was a homicide in my neighborhood actually the other day, and like I live in a nice neighborhood. 3 people dead in their house. And then there's break-ins every single day. Like not like in the neighborhood. There's cops following. My mom just got a new car and her license plate's actually like Pickering, but we live in Richmond Hill. So she sees this guy following her and it's an undercover cop. She didn't realize at first. So she's like kind of scared. She's driving around the neighborhood. Anyways, he ran her plate, saw it was Pickering. He's like, "Oh, that doesn't like why are you in Richmond Hill?" And eventually he pulled her over and was just like, "Oh, like I just wanted to like ask you why you're in this neighborhood." And he goes, "You made the smart decision by keep driving." She goes, "Well, like you're scaring me by following me around the neighborhood." Cause she was too scared. What if it was like a random person
Yeah.
and she was going home?
My house got broken into when I was a kid, and like
Me too.
yeah, it just the city's not.
oh, as you were a kid.
Yeah, I wasn't home. So it was out there, so we lived right beside a school. I don't know how familiar you are with Black Creek and Lawrence. There's a public school basically right beside my house. So the side of our house was the corner of their like massive like schoolyard. And
So was it kids?
yeah, it was kids. So I was at school. My mom went to the neighbor's house for an hour, right? Ironically, at lunchtime, the basement window got broken into. They sold we had like nice paintings, like $10,000-$20,000 paintings in our house.
Oh wow!
And they sold like the Xbox. They
They
stole.
don't care. They don't
like,
care.
One of the remote controls from the TV got stolen, but
Okay,
not
when
the
I got-
TV. Like that's how
Ricky.
dumb this was. Like they went like all the generic places that you would say in a movie to like look like underneath the bed. Like we didn't hide shit underneath the bed. Like we had safes and stuff. Like all the bullshit got stolen. My mom went to the school and be like, "Hey, look, they broke in through this window right here. It's obvious. Like one of these kids from your school robbed their house. Like there's gonna be shit in somebody's bag." And like, "Oh, we can't do anything about it." It's like they're kids. Blah blah. It's like you didn't notice the kids coming back late from lunch.
Well,
Whoever came back late from lunch, that's who
No,
fucking
we
robbed
got-
their house.
Not to say that any kind of theft is good, but that's better than like there's people
gunpoint
that
and
fly
shit.
to Canada, they get an Airbnb for a week, and they go on a fucking
Rampage.
robbing spree.
Yeah.
And like I mean, it's
Well, like even
set up.
last night we were at a bar, and I don't want to say it, but like a couple friends got robbed at the bar. Yeah.
Really?
Like,
Oh,
it's
like
not just,
you got
I
lost
got
your
robbed.
you got robbed.
Yeah.
But like not just me. Like that's why I know. Like it's like
Yeah, the girl I was with yesterday too got robbed.
yeah.
The girl you just picked up,
Yeah.
the blonde with blue eyes. You found
No.
her.
No,
you didn't
no.
find her.
Oh, we love
You
her.
settled.
we got to figure out how to find her. I'm going to make a TikTok about it. This girl was, oh my God, just fuck.
She's cute.
She was a 10 out of 10. Like,
Why didn't you guys help him?
It was impossible.
It was frantic. Usually
go
I
at-
don't tell stories like this on the podcast because like you try and keep it like.
It was
I try not to
impossible.
talk about
Because
women.
your future wife doesn't want to hear
Yeah,
this story.
well, this is my future wife though.
Okay.
So we
So
were
she does
walking
wanna hear
in,
it.
and it was chaotic. There was like 200 people outside the bar, like literally 200 in an area that's just bigger than this room. And we're like kind of, and I know the bouncer, so he gives us our stamp. So I'm like, excuse me. And I said, excuse me. I tapped her. She was wearing a white jacket. That's the only thing. White jacket, blonde, blue eyes, like your kid's blue eyes, like blue. And I tap her. I'm like
Your
she-
audience knows what my kid's eyes look like.
No, but I'm telling you, it's not about that. It's about you. So at least you know, right? So I tap, and she looked at me, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, you're stunning." She's like, "I'm like honestly, like beautiful." And then like the bouncer was like, "Come on." So I kind of I panicked, I froze, and I didn't shoot my shot.
Her friend turns to me and Nicole, and she goes, "This guy says she's stunning, but then she walked into the bar with 2 random girls. Like, way to try to actually get to her."
Yeah,
When
you
you're
dropped the
howling.
ball.
I fucked up big time.
Yeah,
and
you
I
should have got her in.
do you understand that I
You
looked
could've
for
left me
her?
outside.
I looked for her for like literally an hour, and the bar slammed, can't move, sweating buckets.
Usually
Looked
a
for her.
guy that hangs out with girls, I mean, if he isn't gay, is usually a good guy. You know what I mean? Like, no,
Lawrence,
seriously.
I like you, man. We're aligned here.
No,
buddy.
I'm saying you should have continued on because your girls would have been supported you.
I turned
I
around.
haven't-
I even told her, I'm like, "Oh, we're actually like," I was
Yeah,
like,
you
"None of
guys
us
are-
are." I was like, "We're single. Like, he's single. Like, you should go for him."
My MO
I'm gonna
used
fi-
to,
I'm
I
gonna
used to
make a
always
TikTok
hang
about
out with tons of
I'm gonna make a
girls.
TikTok about it today.
Always hang out with tons of girls because girls are attracted by other women. If you have nice girls hanging out with you, they feel safe. They feel comfortable.
So the only problem with that is, so me and Danny, we're homies. Like we go out together all the time. We've traveled to like Europe together, just me and her. Like we shared rooms together.
You guys shared a bed?
No, we have separate beds, obviously. Actually, no. There's times where we've shared a bed before, but like king size bed, like opposite ends. Like we're homies.
Most
like
of the
brother,
time we get
sister.
2 beds.
Yeah.
Why,
like,
you guys don't think you could cuddle and that would be cool?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's just weird. Get away from me.
Like,
No, okay. Like we're homies. So there's times where we go out and like I'll make eye contact with girls and they'll like literally look at her and I'm just like, it's not like that. Like she's just my friend. Like
no. Like, I
so
can't
Danny's
even,
a cockblock to me.
You're also a cockblock to me too.
I introduced you
We
to
went
your
to
mans.
pickleball yesterday, and I can't even have my friend's mom come up to me. "Oh, are you and Ricky dating?"
I introduced you to your man.
I can see that.
I was like,
he would
it's not easy. Like, I get it.
No, because a guy's not going to go up to a
When I'm
girl
with
if he
Ricky.
thinks you guys are like
See,
together.
but the thing is, if she looked at me like, I think that
But you're
guy's-
hitting on another girl, and she's going to be like, okay, she's not hitting on a girl with his girlfriend right beside him.
It's way harder for me than you.
She's a
Yeah.
bad wing woman though. Like I'll be like, Danny, that girl's so pretty. Like go compliment her purse or something. I can go do it easily.
Yeah.
But I just want to see if she'll do it. Never. Not a single time.
I
has she ever done it.
can.
And I've asked her
I
numerous
would.
times.
I would've
You're such
last
a bad
night.
liar. So
I was ready to help you
I
last
introduced her
night.
to her mans, her new like part, like whatever we want to call it.
Yeah.
I introduced them.
No, you didn't.
I didn't. We did not meet up with him that night because of me.
Sure.
You gotta be nice. You gotta help him out.
We got to find this blonde. We got to find this girl.
I used
He
to,
doesn't need the help. He is perfectly okay.
We are nearing the end. But this actually is another good one I want to ask. If there was a movie about your life, who would you want to star as you? Could be anyone from any point in time.
well, because I would say because he's such a good actor, he could really probably get the layers of me down. Would be Mark Ruffalo.
That's a good one.
I can see that.
Yeah, because I feel like you could. He's probably better looking than me, but he could be like the.
People
the
say
Holly-
Ricky looks like him.
That's my doppelganger.
Oh really?
Yeah, on
I don't
TikTok.
think it.
I get
I
it.
don't
I get
see
it once a week on TikTok.
I don't see it at all.
So
But yeah, solid actor.
But if the kids' years of me, it'd be Fred Savage playing me. Do you know who that is from
No.
Wonder Years?
No,
Oh God, I'm way too old.
it's okay. We'll just like superimpose the image right here. Boom, Fred Savage.
So yeah, probably I guess Mark Ruffalo to play me.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, I like
That's a
that
good
too.
answer.
Before we do wrap up, what's the rest of 2024 look like for you? What do you got on the go, on the horizon? Anything you can share?
Yeah, we're opening up Prince Street Pizza in Pasadena, Costa Mesa, Arizona, Miami Beach, I'm missing.
shit.
I'm a couple more. I'm looking at another location at Yonge and Eglinton in Toronto.
And you're bringing all like the water filters with it.
Yeah, of course.
And the Mexican Coke.
And then yeah, of course. and then Irv's Burgers. I'm expanding as well. We're opening up Irv's in I guess Pacific Beach. Another one in Las Vegas. Newport Beach opens next month. Gonna have a big leap day party for the opening of
29, yeah.
Irv's Burgers in Newport.
That's fun.
And I know you mentioned Pizza Day before. Pizza Day is March 14th, right?
February 9th.
February 9th.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I thought it was Pie Day. Is Pizza Day.
National Pizza Day is February 9th.
Okay. Oh, so that's like right now. It's like 2 days, 3
Why
days.
not? Should we release this on February
It's 5
9th?
days away.
We're gonna release this now for this.
Yeah, it was
Pizza Day.
yeah.
Makes sense.
It's like,
Makes
makes so
sense.
much sense now.
Makes so
Yeah.
much sense.
But yeah, and now that it's the end of the episode, I know nobody's probably listening, but go to Prince Street Pizza at Front Street.
I love
Sure.
it.
I know,
We-
they're listening.
we usually do this.
They
part
are
of-
listening. They are listening.
Again, this is a complete unrelated one. What do you do in your spare time, your free time? Like, what are your hobbies?
My kids.
Kids?
Yeah, I play hockey.
Still?
Yeah, I
for
play
you.
twice a week.
Oh, fuck. Good for
So I play hockey twice a week. I play semi-professional ball hockey.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah, in California, and then I
Did you ever go to like one of those ball hockey like Olympics, like Team Italy or something?
no, I haven't been selected. I'm not Italian. I don't have an Italian passport yet.
Okay.
I know they're pretty easy to get though.
Yeah.
So, I do jujitsu in the morning. I play hockey, and then I work out for that's what I do for myself. But really, all I have time is for my family of my business, creating the culture there, and then my family.
Can I ask you a
I've got
question,
3 kids.
unrelated, but has to do with hockey? If you're in LA and you're going to watch, you want to go watch a hockey game, where are you going?
Kings.
What do you mean, Los Angeles Kings?
Staples Center.
No.
They
If
won
you're
more
going- you want to go to a
Stanley Cups
bar
than-
and watch hockey.
Oh, a bar.
You want to go? Like, I'm in LA. I
There's
was
the
in
greatest. It's just called the smallest sports bar in America.
I just saw that on TikTok.
And it's called
this morning.
Sparky's. It's a small sports bar in America, and it's in Malibu.
Do you know what it is? Because I bet just because you posted something about it recently, and I said it out loud, and then that's why I showed up on my TikTok.
Because I was in
literally this
LA
morning.
last May, and it's Leafs were in playoffs. So I go to the concierge at our hotel. I'm like, where can I go watch a hockey game? And he goes, I have friends
Say,
in
what's
Santa
your
Monica.
local
I'm like,
sports bar?
like,
What's your favorite local?
I didn't
want
want to go to like Santa Monica. It's impossible. There's one
Yeah,
spot.
there's not a lot of good sports bars in LA.
There's one spot.
But Sparky's, a small sports bar in America, is the best. I own it.
I love that.
Subtle plug. I own it, and you should go there. So everyone who's listening, go to Sparky's, the smallest sports bar in America.
Dan, you got anything else?
I think I'm good. This is actually a lot of fun.
Lawrence, you are a great guest. You're a
thank you.
phenomenal guest.
Because I brought pizza.
No, that was
you
great.
know we're off to a
Good
good start, but just you're a great storyteller. You're very well spoken. You've got a lot of charisma, and like I feel like you're just a really good person too.
Awesome, man. I really appreciate you guys
I've
having
had
me.
Prince Street in New York, and it tastes even better here. Like,
That's
yeah.
what people are saying. Everyone in Toronto is saying that Prince Street tastes better in Toronto.
I got another random question. Do you ever use ranch for your pizza?
Oh, you know
No.
the answer to that.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Just
It's
checking.
literally on the thing.
So,
no
but again,
ranch.
I know those are the rules, but again, I'm asking
So
him.
I
Personally.
want to develop like a creamy sauce in Toronto, because I know Canadians love dipping, and we have a great vodka sauce that you can dip our pizza in, and even the marinara you can dip it in, and we offer that. But I do want to create like a creamy sauce
not a
that we
creamy
call
garlic,
not ranch.
but yeah.
Like a creamy garlic, technically,
Yeah.
yeah. Like a good creamy garlic, not like a factory pizza creamy
Yeah,
garlic.
yeah.
There's this little Italian restaurant right beside my office called that Italian restaurant. Yeah, the Italian something, the Italian restaurant, the Italian spot, something like that. And their creamy garlic, I don't know where they get it from, but their creamy garlic is one of the best creamy garlics I've had.
I think it's north of Brooklyn, but they create like a black garlic sauce. And it's really good. And it doesn't make you feel like, sometimes when it's like so garlicky that it just like stays on you for ages, it doesn't feel like that.
What's your favorite pizza in
Right now,
Toronto? Yeah.
I love Fourth Man in the Fire, but I haven't had Badiali's yet.
Oh, you haven't?
No. So I can't because apparently that's the best.
Not Prince Street.
No, Prince
Oh,
Street.
it is
Hello.
Prince Street. Sorry. Okay.
Come on, Danny.
That's, Prince Street. I just had it right now. Prince Street's my favorite. Prince Street's my favorite.
Brandy,
I also,
Danny's brain's not
I
working.
tell everybody like
Prince Street's my favorite.
when I first did all the PR in Toronto, I said like Toronto's got a great pizza scene. I said Body Alley probably be a top 10 pizza in any city in America.
North
Like,
of Brooklyn
it's very
actually
good.
rated higher in Dave Portnoy's One Bite pizza review.
Was it rated higher than?
No, but Batty Alley was the
No,
top.
Body Alley was
No,
the highest.
North of Brooklyn rated higher.
No, it was
By
8.1,
Portnoy?
wasn't
By
By the way,
Portnoy?
just so you know, Prince Street Pizza was an 8.6.
Yeah, which is way higher than anything.
Way
in
higher
Toronto.
than any of it, so, yeah.
anything
My
in
favorite
Toronto
pizza in
got.
the city is it's from
Prince
this.
Street.
It's from this. No, it's actually not. Prince is my number 2. It's from this place in Vaughan. It's called
Chow-Roma?
No, it's called the Liordi House. We make our own pizzas in the summer. We got a wood oven, pizza oven. So that's obviously I'm biased, but just like I love pizza.
You own that company, right?
It's my family house. Like we have.
No,
a
I
house.
know.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I meant you own that company. Yeah.
That's mine. Yeah, that's mine. Do you know what though? There's days where it's really bad there too. Like the first pizza of the year, the first and second pizzas of the year, like the sessions are shit.
I heard it's a little soft. The dough's not crunchy.
Yeah, well, we get our dough. So we get the people we buy the dough from, like import, like the flour from Italy. Everything comes from Italy. Like we have olive oil specifically when we
you
make
guys
the
use
pizza.
San Marzano tomatoes.
Yeah, I think we do actually.
Yeah, so they're only good 1 month a year. So
Is that
anybody
a
tells
risk?
you they're using San Marzano tomatoes, let them know
What-
that the
what month
pizza
is
is
it?
only good 1 month of the year. I don't know the exact month, but it's literally if you're actually getting real San Marzano tomatoes.
It's only 1 month of the year that
Yeah,
they're good. Oh,
yeah.
interesting. I love it. Lawrence, thanks for coming on, man. This was great. If people want to find out more about you, Prince Street, everything, where can they go? How can they find you?
Me personally, my Instagram is Bigshot, BIGSHOT.
Great handle, by the way.
Prince Street.
Great
That's a
If
whole.
how old did you when did you get that?
That's a story for another day.
For round 2. How often do you come to Toronto?
I'd say 4, 5, 6 times a year now
So
because
come
well, yeah, and I'm expanding the business through Toronto.
Well,
So
yeah, if you're gonna do Young and Egg, you're gonna come.
all
back.
my family's still here, and my actually kids love the big family we have. We've got a nice summer home, so I'm trying to come more often. Hopefully 5, 6 times a year.
Okay, so we can get you back on in the future when you're back. So Big Shot, and then Prince Street is
Prince Street Pizza at Prince Street Pizza on TikTok, on Instagram.
and then Off the Menu is, I think it's just at Off the Menu.
Yeah, at Off the Menu.
And then you had a bunch of others in your handle, but if people want to go, they can just find you there.
At Irv's Burgers.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay,
I'm awful at social media. I mean,
You're
I
not.
miss that.
You're on it. You got some stuff.
Yeah, sure.
And you were a social media guy.
Yeah, I guess so.
Now just the timing, right?
Yeah, I do whatever I want to do. I don't really care. Like I really should, because it's like you got to listen to Gary Vee. You know what I mean? You should really build your brand and do that stuff. But I just want to be with my
Focus on the
kids,
brands.
focus on my brands, focus on
I get it.
So
Anyways, yeah, Lawrence, thanks for coming on. This was an absolute blast. I love this conversation. We'll definitely get you back on when you're in town, maybe in the summertime, or when Young and Egg opens up or something.
yeah, we should do it in Young and Egg.
Inside
I'm
location?
Inside.
Can we do it? Can we get a tour?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, we'll do that. We'll do it in Young and Egg then. That's what we'll do.
I just want to see the water. I'm so curious.
Well, you can
I'm the
it's
most.
just down the street. You can come and I'll show it to you
No,
anytime.
I am the most that is the most fascinating thing to me, and I'm obsessed with that. I also just love New York, so.
I love it. Anyways, again, Lawrence, thank you guys. If you made it to the end, give Lawrence a follow, give me, Danielle, a follow, and subscribe, and stay tuned till next week's episode.
Bye.
Cheers.
You like to drink and to smoke to take away the pain, and I don't remember all of my mistakes and every high. Got alone with no one thing.